And here we go. Welcome back. Welcome. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Welcome to the two-man front with your boy Be Easy. This is the Fog, and we got a quick but fun show for you. And obviously, hot topic, obviously, what we're going to talk about is Championship Sunday. Everybody saw those games yesterday. Really good games, despite one game being a blowout, the other game being a nail biter. I felt like they were really good. Of course, before we begin, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch on YouTube, watch on anywhere, any places that we tag. But we really would appreciate if you guys did subscribe on YouTube. Trying to grow that. It's growing every day. We appreciate it. Also, please make sure you follow our pages, the Objectively Biased Sports from the Fog, who has up-to-date of all sports, up-to-date list, quarterback list, whatever you made is. You can find Objectively Biased Sports and myself as well on BEZ Sports and Entertainment. Please follow our pages where we will keep you up to date with all the entertainment, all the sports content that you can think of on those pages. And we do appreciate those who are already following us on those pages, of course. But Fog, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go ahead, man. Let's do our favorite segment, Championship Sunday, winners and losers. Go ahead, Fog. Give me your winner from both games. Who are your winners? Give me anybody you want. Who are your winners from both games? Let's start with Kansas City. No, actually, no. Matter of fact, let's start with your squad. Let's start with your game, Philly and Washington. Winners. Who are the winners from those games?
Obviously, the Eagles in general are the winners in that game.
Yeah,
Especially in particular, Saquon Barkley, man. This has to feel so good for him in the game that he had. I mean, Saquon is a big winner in this one. This is something again. I get it. Maybe the voters who are always biased, and I feel like they allowed a playoff. I don't know, when is the MVP and all the award voting supposed to be submitted? Isn't it supposed to be submitted before the playoffs?
I thought they were submitted before the playoffs, and that they're going to be announced like the Sunday, either before the Super Bowl or next week, something like that. I don't know. I don't really know.
But if it wasn't enough of a case to be made, there it is. There's your MVP of the league. Because without Saquon Barkley, the Philadelphia Eagles aren't doing what they're doing. Saquon was my big winner from that game. There was another winner for me, and even in defeat, there's still victory and there's still a silver lining. Jaden Daniels.
He played well, man.
Those turnovers, you can't blame him for the turnovers.
No, you can't.
You can't blame him for the turnovers.
None of them.
So
yeah, that's a good one.
He balled out. He came to play. Even in catching that L, he is a winner. I'm excited to see what Washington. I hate it because it's in my division. But I'm excited to see what this young man can do and what the Washington Commanders can do for years to come.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, Jaden Daniels is going to be my winner as well, but I'll pick somebody else. I have a couple winners in this one as well. I mean, Saquon, I think, is everyone's winner. I think you can't. It's hard to be not happy for Saquon Barkley. Like I feel like you have to be like some inhumane person to like not be happy for a guy like Saquon Barkley. I know some Giants fans who are actually happy for Saquon Barkley because he was in such a crappy situation in New York. And now he's in a situation where he can actually show that generational talent that I said that this guy had coming out. I mean, we both said it coming out of Penn State, but we all knew the crappy situation he was in when he was in New York. But he still almost somewhat kind of flourished. I went back and looked at his numbers, Fog, in New York. I mean, if it wasn't for some injuries, he would have almost 1,000-yard seasons in every single year behind crappy offensive line and horrible quarterback play. So Saquon Barkley, man, he's just spectacular. Look, he's on. I said it for Derrick Henry. I thought Derrick Henry can do it, but Derrick Henry clearly did not do it. He's on a Terrell Davis type of like playoff run. I mean, almost 500 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns in 3 playoff games. Right? I mean, he's on an incredible run right now. Clear winner for me. Another winner, I would say, in this game is another Eagle, actually, And look, I gotta give props to Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts is about to go play in his second Super Bowl. Like his second one. That's not getting talked about enough. Like he's about to go play in his second Super Bowl. We got guys like Josh Allen. We got guys like Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. And everybody's better than Jalen Hurts in the NFC, right? Everybody's better than him, right? And none of those guys have been in the Super Bowl. Outside of maybe Brock Purdy, because he went to the Super Bowl last year, right? But Jalen Hurts, man, it's his second Super Bowl. Like, I mean, that needs to be celebrated, and we'll see what he can do there. But he's my winner because there was a lot of, including myself, I criticized him. I did this year. He didn't look like himself. I felt like he wasn't his MVP. So even last year, he had a down year, and I felt this year was just kind of a little better, but just wasn't impactful, I guess you can say. But Jalen, he gets my props because this is his second Super Bowl. He's one of my winners, so props to him.
I mean, he's doing damn good for a running back playing quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the guy. That's another thing. I mean, the guy came into the league unbelievably raw, and all he's doing is winning. And look, one thing I love that he said, it was beautiful. One thing I love what he said, very profound, and I definitely agree with him with this. Winning in the league, it really depends on your perspective, right? It depends on one's perspective of what it means, what it looks like, what he wanted to do. And he said he's not a stat guy. He's not putting up Mahomes or Lamar or Josh Allen numbers. He's just winning games, man. I think he knows that. He knows his role on this team. And I'm happy he's kind of like just embraced that role, saying, I'm not the spotlight guy. That's Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna let him get his shine. But I'm the guy that needs to make the plays when they matter. And yesterday, definitely did. So,
he balled out. All the nonsense and the bullshit about he's not a quarterback. Shut up already.
Yeah, no, I mean he is. I mean he's proved it. He's been in the league for what 3-4 years now. He's definitely playing in the league. He's definitely a quarterback, man. Again, he's been to more Super Bowls than your favorite quarterback. Come on, let's be real here. Who are your winners? Who are your losers of this game? Who are the losers of the Eagles game?
The loser of the Eagles game is the injuries, man. Philadelphia with not being able to have Cam Jurgensen, Landon Dickerson taking his place, and his knee was just looking in bad shape. Yeah, that's a big L there. I think that I really couldn't find many losers in this game. I mean, I don't want to harp on what's his name, the receiver Brown. I think his fumble that led to them Philly scoring. But there's really, outside of the injuries, I don't really feel there was a loser in this game. I just felt like, the game played itself out the way it did.
I definitely got one. And honestly, in my opinion, I honestly feel like it kind of took the life out of Washington, and the turnovers killed them. Don't get me wrong. The turnovers. I mean, you want to learn how to lose a game. Just watch this game. Watch what Washington did. I mean, honestly, it looked like Dan Snyder's Washington team out there. Like it was awful, right? Marshawn Lattimore, man, like this guy, like this dude, man. I honestly feel like he was getting cooked all game. Was getting cooked all game by AJ Brown. And then AJ Brown, I love the fact that Marcus Lattimore got the penalty after AJ Brown took his helmet off, and AJ Brown had his hands up the whole time saying, I didn't do anything. Beautiful. I really feel like that just took him out of his game. Therefore, he had a bad game, awful game, couldn't cover anybody. That's my only loser. You're right. There weren't really any losers. I mean, I will say the injuries for the Eagles, that was bad. Dickerson being out, and then Jurgensen. Thankfully, they have about a couple of weeks to figure some things out. But man, I mean, the strength of that team is the O-line.
I was a loser in that game. I was a loser. I literally had the Eagles money line I had the over. I got it at 47 on BetMGM.
Yeah.
I had Jaden Daniels thrown for over 220 yards. I had Terry McLaurin and Saquon Barkley scoring touchdowns. And I had Devonta Smith scoring a touchdown. How come they didn't put Marshawn Lattimore and Devonta Smith? God damn it.
I don't know, man.
That was the only miss I had on that. Now, you know what? You could say the defensive coordinator, because I don't understand why they left Lattimore on an island with a receiver that is as physical as A.J. Brown. He was not going to – you should have doubled him up. And maybe if you wanted Lattimore to go one-on-one with somebody who he could out-physical, it would have been Devonta Smith.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny because they did the same thing last week with Mike Evans, and he did pretty well. He did pretty well against Mike Evans. Mike Evans was kind of a non-factor. No, I'm sorry, that last week, 2 weeks ago, against Mike Evans, and he did okay. Like they were thinking about going to zone, but they had him on an island against Mike Evans. Mike Evans is one of the best in the league, physical as well. So I'm not super mad at it, but yeah, they weren't really. It was a blowout of a game. I guess the only really loser, honestly, before we move on to the next game, is Dan Snyder. He's such a loser. The biggest loser, honestly. He's the biggest loser right now in the NFL, watching his own old team making these strides. I really hope the Commanders can really. We'll talk about draft stuff, what they need. They definitely need to bolster up that defense. Like they really need. Because Jaden Daniels, he shouldn't have to carry this team. He carried it as a rookie.
Yeah.
He did. He carried this team as a rookie. Get some guys around this guy. Put a team around this young man.
And he was literally out of the four quarterbacks pictured, in my opinion, he literally played the best out of all 4 quarterbacks, in my opinion.
So our boy Drew Tremmel from a game-winning drive sports box, giving us his winners and losers. His winners, Jalen Hurts. I said that. Yep, I agree with you, Drew, with that. Barkley, we said that as well. Lance coming in at OC. We said that as well. Quinyon Mitchell had a great game. He had a good game. I would say that. Yeah, I do agree with that. Quinyon had a great. I must say, man. Well, we'll get to that in a minute when we get to our thoughts on the Super Bowl, but we'll get to that. Jane Daniels definitely a winner, and the Washington D.C. organization, I like that as well. They're definitely a winner as well. I like those winners. I like those. All right, moving on, Fog. Moving on to the game of the night. Game of the night. Chiefs defeat the Bills 32-29. Josh Allen 0-4 against Mahomes, which I didn't even realize he was until I saw the stat. I'm like, damn, they played together 4 times. They came into the league. Golly.
I don't know. They played 4 times either in the playoffs. I'm like, wow,
I had no idea. I was like, damn, that's a lot. Well, this was the 4th time. It was 0-3. Now it's 0-4. Good Lord, that's yikes. Fog, winners and losers of the nightcap. Chiefs, Bills.
I'm going to be honest with you. My winner in that game, again, 2 winners there. Xavier Worthy, 6 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Mr. I had him as the 5th best wide receiver coming out in the draft. I did. I know.
Who was that?
Xavier Worthy. I had him as the 5th best wide receiver coming out in the draft. Man, he is showing out. Now, he's got to get more consistent, but I think he was a big winner. The way he played and the way they used him. And then Kareem Hunt is showing that he still got it. I don't know how this man was left on his couch.
Well, he does still have it.
I don't get it, but he still got it. So those 2 guys for me are the big winners. Unfortunately, the big loser here, and I hate saying it because everybody else is saying it, but my sentiments for him are why I have him as the loser. It's Josh Allen. Josh Allen played a good football game. I can't take anything away from what he did, but he is going to be, like you just said it, he's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes. And meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing defense against him, and Patrick Mahomes wasn't calling the plays for him in critical situations. And I don't believe that the Buffalo Bills used Josh Allen to his fullest potential, and that last sequence that they had before the 2-minute warning, where they went pass, 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 all 4 downs.
Third down play was awful.
I don't understand any of that at all. I would have much rather seen the play calling that Kellen Moore had going with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, the designed run, spreading it out. I would have much rather seen that. I did not like the play calling in that particular sequence where they could have actually grinded this defense down. James Cook was having a fantastic game. You text me. You're like, yeah, I told you, James Cook. You're not wrong. If they cook with Cook, they're gonna cook the Chiefs.
They had a shot,
and they had it there. That particular sequence, that particular drive, could have ended the game, or at least tied it up with a field goal. But you decided to pass the ball. You had 3 timeouts. You had a good field position. And you, again, 4 straight passes. And not for nothing, all props to Spags. That pass that Josh Allen threw on 4th down, he had no choice but to let it up because that corner blitz was disguised beautifully. They loaded up the left, and they came in on the left, so he didn't even have an opportunity to look left. And then that corner just shot in from his right side, and he had to roll out and just lob it up. And even with that lob up that he threw it in a place where only Dalton Kincaid could catch it. Problem was Kincaid had to try to double back.
It was a hard
catch that ball. Yeah,
that would have been a miraculous, not a miraculous catch, but that would have been a very
damn good catch if he was able to hold on to that.
Yeah. Like people try to compare it to the Mark Andrews catch, or like he should have caught that. No, like Mark Andrews should have caught that ball. Right, yes. Mark Andrews should have caught that ball. Dalton Kincaid, that wasn't a normal catch. He was to his side. I think he was trying to get on his knees and catch it. That was hard. That like Mark Andrews catches that ball 99 out of 100 times. Dalton Kincaid doesn't catch that ball 99 out of 100 times. No. He just doesn't. That was tough. All right, so I got things to say about Josh Allen. I'll get to him in a minute. I'll start with my winners. I'll start my winners. My winners are definitely on the Chiefs side. Obviously the Chiefs are winners for winning the game. I'll say this. I felt like I was gonna make a post or video about this because I won't be long-winded because obviously we gotta go soon. Not much is being said about just how good Andy Reid actually is. Like, he's really freaking good. I know Mahomes is really good too, but not much. And then, well, my winner is Andy Reid and the coaching staff. My winner is Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. Those are my winners, right? Mm-hmm. Those are my 2 winners. Like, those guys, just a masterclass game. Like, it was masterclass. It was unbelievable, but more so for Andy Reid because it's unbelievable. Like, I'm going to get to this. Maybe we can get to this next time. It's unbelievable how Andy Reid always has somebody freaking open. What really amazed me was the last play to seal the game with Samaje Perine slipping through the line while everybody's just flooding the other. I mean, it's a simple club. It's a simple flood concept while your running back goes through the line. But it was just incredible that Andy Reid knows when to call these plays. He just knows when to call. He's always 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. Like, he may be one of the greatest offensive minds I've ever seen. Like, it was a masterful play. Like, and if you have a guy like Mahomes who's masterful himself, like, you put those 2 guys together, man, it's unbelievable, man. Like, they're almost damn near impossible to beat. Right. So those are my guys. But in the Spagnuolo, the unbelievably amazing blitz at the end. They did the same thing last year. I don't know if people remember the same thing last year with Brock Purdy. Where Chris Jones kind of came through. I will say the Niners actually picked up that blitz. They didn't pick it up in Buffalo. So when Trent McDuffie comes in untouched, George Karlaftis hits it. Like, it was a great play. It's a masterful game. Those are my winners. My losers, in my opinion, are two people. Joe Brady, because of what you said. Boy,
Yep.
wonder Joe Brady. Everyone loved Joe Brady. Joe Brady's this. Everybody, I want Joe Brady as my coach. Joe Brady was literally fired in like 5 days in Carolina. Do we forget about that? I'm not saying Joe Brady's not a good coach, but let's not just put him in a head coaching position because of what he's doing with Josh Allen. He's good where he is, but he's not great. I think Joe Brady
Yeah.
is good. He's not great. Like, he's really not, because newsflash, Ken Dorsey, who's got fired. I think he got fired. Did he get fired like in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Or something? I don't know. Ken Dorsey kind of had Josh Allen doing the kind of the same things, right? I think Joe Brady is just making Josh Allen a little more conservative, right? So like I don't know. Joe Brady, for what you said, that last sequence of plays, those last
Yep.
4 plays were awful. Not one run play to James Cook, who was actually cooking like all night. Not one run play. Crazy. And I must say, man, look, I don't want to call Josh Allen a loser. And he did play well, but something has to be said about how reckless he played the first half. He could have had 2 interceptions. No one's talking about that. And he fumbled it twice, but they were recovered by Josh Allen. No one's talking about that because they were recovered, but that moves your team back and puts you behind the sticks, right? He didn't play great. He played well, but he didn't play great. But he did make 2 spectacular passes to Matt Hollins that put him in position to be where they were. So there's that.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen, it's hard to call him a loser because he's had such a great career, but you're 0-4 against somebody, man, like that. It's hard to not call him that. Like it is. It's hard, but I think my biggest loser, my biggest loser really is Joe Brady because of those horrible plays.
Yeah.
And then my biggest winners are Spags and Andy Reid. I really wish we can expound on that a little more. But let me get to Drew real quick. Drew say his losers from the last game, Giants organization, Dan Snyder, we said that. Him, Marshawn Lattimore, Drew. I said that before you got here. Marshawn Lattimore had a horrible game. Winners, Mahomes, Andy Reid, I agree. Worthy, who I do owe an apology. I owe Xavier Worthy an apology, and I'll explain it in a post later this week. I made a post about him, how he should not have been a first-round pick, and he was not a bust, but I feel like they just wasted it on him. But you were right, Falk. He looks every bit of a part of a guy that can become a superstar. He does. He looks like a part. And then obviously Kareem Hunt, like you said, losers. Drew says Brady. Interesting.
Brady. Yeah. Joe Brady.
Oh, Joe Brady. That's what I thought. Tom
Yeah.
Brady. Yeah. Joe Brady. McDermott, Shakir, Cooper, Coleman, Kincaid. Damn, the whole damn.
Jesus.
I would say. I thought Shakir played a pretty good game, but McDermott. Look, if we're gonna be real here, Fog, coaching between the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs are what's separating those teams. It's not the quarterback. It's not the quarterbacks.
No,
honestly, if you line these quarterbacks side by side, you pick your poison. It's not the quarterbacks. It's the coaching. I've never been a fan of Sean McDermott. Never been. I mean, John Harbaugh's okay, but I feel like he's overstayed his welcome as well with the team he has currently. I agree with that, Drew. I think that. So Drew also said that the Bills left guard didn't shift. That's what caused Allen to move to his right. That's true. And then that beautiful well designed QB blitz called by Spags was a perfect play call and well executed. Shouldn't be in that situation for the Bills. I thought he went the wrong way, but I thought Josh Allen went the wrong way. But I gotta watch the play again. I thought Josh Allen actually went the wrong way.
Yeah, no. When he took that snap, I don't think he realized. Well, again, nobody realized that blitz was coming. But then the way the defense was shifted and the way they came in to his left side. So they forced him. They literally, the play design forced him to go right. And like Drew said, I didn't even realize that. Had the left guard shifted to take block somebody else,
I gotta go watch it again.
He doesn't get pushed. he doesn't get pushed out of there, and he'll see that rather than rolling right in to the blitzing cornerback.
I gotta go watch that again. I gotta watch that. That's a good observation, Drew. If you saw that, I thought Josh Allen went the wrong way because there was a guy who was, I think, Shakir. I think they ran a play, pretty much the same play that Devontae Smith and Jeremiah Smith ran in the national championship game. He motioned to the back and then came back around. That was gonna work. That was gonna work, but yeah, he was wide open. But I gotta go watch that again. I gotta go watch that one again. But I will say this: we got a good Super Bowl coming up. Fog. Unfortunately, my time is up. So I'm gonna have
no problem, man.
The time is up. But we are going to talk about the Super Bowl. We should be back hopefully on Wednesday. We will talk about the Super Bowl. We will get back on that. We will get on that. Thoughts? No predictions this week, though. We don't have any predictions. We will not have any predictions. We'll have predictions on our next show next Monday, but we will be back on Wednesday, right? We'll talk about the Super Bowl, and then we'll talk about some draft stuff as well, because the NFL draft obviously is coming up very fast. Shrine Ball this weekend. Combine at the end of February, which is coming up pretty fast. So we'll talk about that as well. So we thank you guys for joining us on this condensed version of the two-man front. And we'll see you guys in a couple of days.